2 people are dead and nearly 20 others injured after a school shooting in Kentucky. We're now asking about how local officials work to keep students safe if a similar situation should happen here in the Miami Valley. Joining us now from Cedarville University, we welcome Doug Chisholm, the Director of Campus Safety. Thank you for being with us here tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, so with the situation down in Kentucky and many others like this, they talk about how they had just gone through training for a situation like this. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of that and specifically the run, hide, fight method that they're teaching students now?
Yes, that training is widespread now throughout schools and universities, and it's very important training because it teaches students to not just lockdown, which still is an important factor in many situations, but also evacuation, and if they need to, as a final resort, to actually strike back and defend themselves. In this particular case, as I understand it, many people did flee the building and got away from the attack. So run, hide, fight is very, very widespread. It's also called ALICE. That's another approach, but it's essentially pretty much the same thing. And working together with law enforcement and doing these drills has become a commonplace thing in most schools. 90% of schools all have written plans and procedures, and at least 70% of them say in recent polling that they're doing drills.
Now, when you talk about enforcement as well, they play a huge role as people are making frantic calls to 911 during these situations. How do police approach these types of situations on campus?
Well, with the volume of heavy calls coming in like that, the dispatchers will do their best to take the most significant information that they can glean from those calls and get that to the responding officers immediately. So yes, there will be many, many calls, but they have to filter those and get the most important information out right away.
I want to get your thought on something here. You can go through all of the training that you want. Still, when something like this happens, you don't know how it's going to play out. Down in Jacksonville, Florida, just one area, there's a bill they're talking about that would allow some school employees, maybe teachers, volunteers, to carry guns there on school campuses. What do you think about that?
Personally, I think it's a good idea. I think that you can have a well-trained staff. I know there's a lot of, controversy on that particular issue. I, for one, am in favor of it. I think that staff can be well-trained and trained with law enforcement. And I think that in a situation like that, you have to stop the attacker just as quickly as you can. In this case, the police were on scene in about 5 to 6 minutes, and yet all of this carnage had still occurred. So rapid response is very important. If that means having some of your staff armed that can be right there and stop it immediately, then that can be an effective means of handling the situation.
All right, Doug Chisholm, the Director of Campus Safety there from Cedarville, thank you so much.
Thank you.